Come with me to do a crown prep. The first thing we do is get this putty out of the bin and make a putty matrix. I had the ratio completely off, so I did end up having to make another one, but basically you just take the putties, the two colors, and mix them together evenly. And then you place them over the tooth that you want to do, and we use this putty to measure how much we've reduced. And we are doing this crown prep on number 30, and this is what it looks like before we get started. So this is the very first crown prep that I am doing, and originally our PowerPoint said to start with the interproximal, but I no longer do that. I actually start with the occlusal reduction, but this is what it looks like with the interproximal done, and I'm just kind of taking a sliver away and keeping it as little as possible. By removing as little as possible, this allows me to have more control on how tapered the crown is, and basically that just means how the walls go towards the top of the crown, towards the occlusal. I don't want the walls to be too parallel, but I also don't want them too tapered that it almost goes up into like a teepee. And then what I'm going to do next is, if you see those little slivers of tooth that are left closest to the other teeth, I'm going to actually break those off, and then I'm going to begin working on the occlusal reduction. While I'm doing this, I am going to be taking the putty matrix in and out and measuring how much I've reduced. This crown is a full metal crown, so it actually has less reduction than some of the other crown types we're going to be doing later in the semester. So once I finished the occlusal reduction, I started on the axial reduction, and I usually start on the buccal and then do the lingual last just because it's so hard for me to see. I honestly try to do as much of the lingual reduction, which is the tongue side of the tooth, with direct vision because it's really hard for me to use my mirror, and I honestly end up sitting at like crazy positions like 3 o'clock, which is just incorrect for a right-handed person because technically that's where my assistant would be sitting. So once I've got the axial reduction, which is going to be the front, backs, and sides of the tooth, as well as the occlusal, which is the portion of the tooth that you bite on, reduced to the amount that I want, I'm going to continue on and do a bevel and then also put in a retention groove. So it's easy to see the seating groove in this video. It's that little divot that's on the front. It's kind of hard to see the bevel, but this is the finished product, and honestly, not horrible for my first time doing it.